I do art because it's something that my heart feels, something that changes with how I feel, changes with what the world around me feels like, and it's one of the few things in the world that seemed like it called to me in any way.
Why do I do music? I don't think that the why ever enters into it. So that's probably the reason. It's beyond why. It just is what I do, and I have never understood it. People ask me, so how did you decide to do music? I never decided to do music, and I don't think of myself as a musician either. I just end up. I wake up, I do something, and this is what I do, and this is what has seemed like the most natural thing to do.
I was hoping to do this interview with my kid in the photo, but it was impossible. But the kid really is what drives me. He's feeding me, and this is him. Can this work? Yeah. See, that's mini me. That's what drives me. Before he was born, I don't know what was driving me. I guess it was pursuit of something, but I'm not really sure what it is. But now it's like providing for my family drives me.
I think anyone would be lying to you. They said there wasn't an ego involved in this. You know, I think they're full of shit. You know, yeah, sure it's the ego, but you know, I worked so hard on what I do, and every spare second I have, I'm doing it. And now that I'm not bartending, I'm really doing it. But I just really want to share it. You know, I don't want to just do it and have it sit in my house.
It's really the only thing I know how to do. Honestly, it's pretty hopeless. Gotta make stuff, or I get really depressed. If I don't make stuff, I get very, very can't function. So with this piece, what I did was I sat in a big wad of clay and I cast my ass in plaster.
And I used to love Davy Crockett, and I'd wear like the buckskin outfit. We go to this Glen Echo, this park, and there would be a Davy Crockett dude, you know, and he'd go around and play banjo and sing the song. So when he came to our little area, I knew the Davy Crockett theme song, so I sang it with him. He goes, "Would you mind if I took him around with me for a while?" Nowadays, no way. I'm terrified. But for me, I'm performing too cool. So I went around with him, you know, for an hour or so and sang the song with him. And go, uh-oh, that's it. I'm hooked, and that's what got me going. And then I remember just being a kid laying in bed, and you know, I'm like 10 years old or 12, and going, oh man, I don't want to go to college, I don't want to get a job, I don't want to have family, I don't want kids. I just can't do that. Even then I knew I didn't want to do that. And I was always worried what would happen and how it would come to be that I wouldn't have to be a normal person.
To some degree, I think being involved with the punk rock scene, or like, that is actually an area where I feel like it's full of deviants, people who are kind of challenging all sorts of conventional thinking. So to the degree that my interest in music, or my interest in playing music, has sort of brought me into this kind of underground world, that is the reason I do it, because it's where I feel comfortable. I feel like it's where I can actually feel like I've accomplished something.
But my job is pretty good. I mean, I did pick this job because I thought it would be cool if I was 60 years old to have young women or men or whatever come over to my house and take their clothes off. I thought that would be really funny. Seriously, that was one of the considerations when I went into this field.
Well, at first, you know, my art was my music, and then later on I just ventured into doing artwork. But and the art that I do, the Demonica Erotica series, is, you know, what people sometimes think I just do for shock value, but basically it's just what I just love to do, because I've been doing it, you know, I've been drawing since I was a baby.
Why'd you start playing punk rock?
Because I just quit doing drugs and I had a whole bunch of extra energy, and I was drinking lots of espresso and eating lots of pastries and riding my bike every day, and I just couldn't help but do it.
What would you do if you weren't playing music?
That's a tough question, yeah. I don't really know it. I'm kind of all consumed by music.
when I first started seeing band, I realized I can play. So it was never like I thought like, oh, I'm going to be in a band. It was sort of like, well, I can play, so let's get together and play some music, and then let's write a song, or let's, it was all very momentary, very process oriented or whatever, which is exactly the way I think about things in life.
I had this grandmother who wouldn't shut up. She talked all the time, right? Like she never stopped talking, and she would talk to herself, she would talk to you, she would listen to you, then she would talk, and anything that came to mind, she would have to say it. And I think that that's the urge to write, is like the urge to communicate and be alone at the same time, but the need to get everything that's in your head out of your head, either by saying it or by writing it down, I think it's really similar. So rather than making everybody crazy and talking too much and telling them everything that I'm thinking, I just write it all down and I just show them the good stuff.
The ultimate goal is freedom, and that's what art and music and writing and literature and painting, ultimately that's what we look for when we look to someone else. We look for them to unlatch this key, to open up this door that we can go to, and for that second, that moment of looking into that painting, of hearing that one note, finding this freedom that we so long as individuals to feel.
We're doing it so we can live. It's like, well, why are we doing this? We're not just doing it and then, yay, we accomplished, we ran the buses on time and now we're dead. Like, unless you're the bus driver that's on the way that says hi to everybody and makes it a positive thing, they're adding some art to you can add art to being a bus driver, you can add art to just about anything, and it's basically it's taking whatever life is and making it better, and making, expressing this like really deep felt core of our lives. And if you don't have that, if I don't have that, it's bleak, everything, there's nothing else.
I began to realize that it was something that I could do, and it was something that kept me sane and focused, whereas I lacked focus in every other category. So yeah, I've always done art. I've always painted and drawn, created.
I perform because I have to. I started performing on the stage when I was with this person when I was about 8 years old. So I think that I came from a really working poor family, and being on a stage and performing always somehow gave me a new perspective on myself, and this idea that there weren't any limitations or boundaries when I was having this performance dialogue with people, and it was the truth of the emotion, the situation that I wanted to convey, and I couldn't find that in my daily life, but I could find that and embody that and create that dialogue when I was performing for people. Yeah.